Hello friends, welcome back. Season 16, War 2, facing LCMII. This is an alliance we actually fought last season and were victorious. See if we can come out with a victory today. We're heading back to the trusty trio today, Void, Namor, and Warlock. Taking another different path this war, so we're on path 3 to start. This is the Psychic Thorns, and there's a couple other nodes which really don't matter here. Quick Nullify if you use a lot of buffs. Namor is a natural counter to this node for most matchups because he will ignore the Thorns damage and then return it back to the opponent as energy damage. There's only a couple of champs on this path that I think Namor is not good for. Havok would be one. Human Torch would be another one. I think those are the only two that I can specifically think of. But yeah, so pretty much anybody else on this path, you know, even this Green Goblin, who is hitting into my block many times with those lasers and doing quite a bit of chip damage, isn't really much of a test for Namor, and he goes down pretty quickly. Alright, so continuing on path 3, we have a Sentinel. This is pretty much the same node combination as before. I'm not sure if I checked them again this time or not. Nope. So Sentinel, again, you know, a little bit of a gimped matchup for Namor because he's a robot and therefore won't be giving me as much outrage. But in an ideal situation, the fight is going to be over before I would ever even need to use my SP3 in the first place. So you can see the nice amounts of Thorns damage I'm returning back. It's just under 1,000 per hit. It actually depends on how much damage I'm dealing to him, but you can see a couple 1,000 plus damage, secondary damage in there from the Thorns. So gonna bait out this SP2. My input slipped or something. I don't really know what happened. That was on me. And took an Incinerate to the block because he had full analysis. The Incinerate triggered through my block. So that's unfortunate. But so I'll have to heal up a little bit. Or will I? Stay tuned. You'll see what happens later. So you can tell that our opponents are running Siphon, which is pretty much what everybody runs these days. I mentioned in the last war video that it, you know, even after they changed it for this season, it is still massively overpowered. And you know, this is the problem with the tactics in general. There's always going to be one that everybody uses because it's the one that's stronger than everybody else. So you know, it used to be dodge, and now it's Siphon. So. All right, we got that Sentinel down. Now this is a really interesting fight. So this is a Heimdall, also on a Psychic Thorns node. We're going to heal up Namor, but not to full here. Now, Heimdall is an interesting fight, typically because when he uses his specials, you can't go in and punish because you have like a 25% chance of getting parried with the auto block. So after he uses a special, you have to either heavy counter the special one, or you have to parry and then heavy him. I think this node also has Limber, so you have a limited number of parries to work with. I think I'd use them all up as quickly as I can just to make it a little bit easier. This fight is pretty sloppy by me. At one point, I get parried because I'm being stupid, and then at another point, I'm trying to get the armor break on me from his heavy attack. I think it's his heavy attack or his SP1. One or the other gives you an armor break, and it's lengthy if I remember correctly. So the idea here is to use give me some healing with willpower here. So I got parried there. He only hit me once, and then I screwed up the heavy counter. So it's not looking. I mean, it's not looking bad. So there, I finally get the armor break on me. I'm down to 50% health. But then I fire off my SP3. Now, if you fought on this path before, you know that the SP3 counts as non-contact damage for some reason. So right here, I'm going to heal up. Boom, all the way back up to the yellow bar. And I've got the armor break on me, so the parry damage is healed instantly with willpower. And yeah, so come out of there with a full yellow bar. Don't have to waste more potions, so I'll consider that a victory. Alright, up on my normal path 1 in section 2 here, we got a Killmonger. I can't really take Namor into this fight because not only will Namor be triggering Masochism quite frequently with the medium attacks with the bleeds, But I also will be giving Killmonger way too much power with the debuffs, with the bleeds. Even if I were to take Resonate off again like I did previous war, there's just still too many debuffs to work with here, I think. So we're going to go in with Warlock. I put on a combat regen boost. So the idea here is to kind of play until I can get to the special 2. I can get the armor breaks on Killmonger, and then I can trigger, or I can prevent his vibranium armor from triggering here. So Killmonger had suicides on. You can see the recoil damage, and he shrugged off the debuffs to begin with from the masochism node. He didn't actually shrug them off. So you can see I'm taking a decent amount of damage back from the vibranium armor. That combat regen boost is really kind of helping me out, and it'll last me through the next fight too as well, so it's not really just wasted on this one fight. Alright, so we get the armor breaks on him, so now his vibranium armor is disabled. We've got infections on him, so we're in a good state right now. If we can cycle the armor breaks, they fell off, but so we have a little bit of window here before we can get a second set of armor breaks on him. And it's unfortunate that I had to take so much damage there, but that's what makes Killmonger an effective defender in many cases, especially with that siphon tactic. So trying to not take as many blocked hits. It's tough with the masochism node because he's going to shrug off your initial parry stun. If you get lucky there, he might throw a heavy immediately and you can dodge out of the way. But so we took a lot of chip damage there, but otherwise pretty happy with how that fight went. And returning from a short absence is Miss Brie Larson on the Buffet Indomitable node. So we're going to heal up Warlock. We don't need to heal him up to full because we've got the combat regen boost still going. And also this fight is just so easy. I actually think that this Captain Marvel gets off 2 special attacks, which is pretty rare. Typically, when I fight a Captain Marvel in this node, she only gets 1 special attack off, and then her power is draining pretty much the rest of the fight. Almost everybody in war these days at this level runs willpower, and Warlock really punishes the use of willpower. It's one of the reasons why he's one of my favorite champions in the game. So you can see we're halfway, 30 seconds through the fight. I meant to say half a minute there. And she is just degenerating and power draining, and she's having a pretty bad day. I got plenty of infections up, so we're stopping that buffet. The buffet is nasty if you trigger it, especially with her. And you can't really use heal blocks with her either, because if you knock her down, then you're going to trigger her binary state. So, alrighty, moving on. We got Captain Marvel down. Next up, we got a Korg here. I fought this champ on this node several times last season. It's very annoying. I can't use Namor on this node because of empowered immunity. That node, if you give Korg a debuff that he's immune to, like a bleed, he gains 1/3 of a bar of power. So in one medium combo from Namor, he would be gaining 2/3 of a bar of power, or if I just stuck to medium lights, he would also be gaining at least 1/3. So we're going to play it a little bit safer here with Warlock. Now the name of the game here, as it typically is when you fight Korg with somebody who can't counter Thorns damage, is basically to kill him before the Thorns damage can kill you. I'm not good at light intercepting Korg, so you can see here I'm just taking the Thorns damage from the medium attacks and doing medium, light, medium when his shield is down. The power drain is kind of working against me, I feel like. Got to be careful there not to hit into him with the special 2 when his rock stack is up. That would have killed me instantly, and that got me, I think, twice last season, so I kind of remembered it this time. So we're going to stick with the SP3 since we weren't able to get an SP2 off before we hit 3 bars of power. I don't think he's infected. Does this heal me up? It should heal me up if he's got some infections on him. I don't remember it doing so. So a minor amount of healing, and it didn't absorb the infections. That's weird. I didn't notice that before, but anyway. All right, so that's good though because we want the infections up to stop the buffet node from triggering because we're already kind of. We need to play aggressively so we don't time out, but we need to also continue playing safely so that we don't die from the Thorns damage or block damage before he can go down. So get that SP2 off, get those nice armor breaks up. So we have a lengthy amount of time here with 2 armor breaks. The shield is coming up with 1 fewer stack every time. So, you know, it is what it is. Dodge that heavy. That was a really close one. I almost thought that was going to get me. Dodge this SP1. Shield is down. The shield is going to be down for most of the rest of the fight because we're down in like the 3 and 4 stack range when it comes back. Hit him with another SP2, another set of nice armor breaks, and as long as we don't take a combo here, we're going to get out of here with a victory. And we've got 1 rock stack left. Oh, can't go in there because he's unstoppable. 1 more SP2, and there we go. So, you know, it could have gone worse. Maybe I could have boosted up my attack. I really just went in with a health boost because I knew that was going to take a lot of damage. So I probably could have ended that fight a little bit quicker if I had bothered to boost up my attack at all. Alright, we're up on Boss Island now. We've got a pair of Havocs to take out. This one is on the Dismay node. So as long as you bring an effective Havok counter and don't get tagged by his special attacks, you should be fine. And Warlock is maybe the best Havok counter out there. He has many ways to counteract Havok's annoying abilities. So the name of the game here with Havok is basically to tag him with that SP2. When he hits into your block, he's going to power drain himself, which stops the plasma charges from hitting on or getting on himself or getting on you. And of course, as always, if they happen to reach 10 on me, it's not going to matter because I have that armor up buff. Alright, so we got some nice armor breaks on him here. Fight is going pretty well. He's launching these SP1s. Normally when you fight Havok with a non-effective counter, if you let him get off that SP1, the match is pretty much over for you because that pretty much superpowers the plasma generation, and you're going to get 10 debuffs on you in no time, and they're going to detonate, and you're gonna cry in the corner. Alright, so fight is well within our control here. Specials are unblockable. I don't care. They're really easy. And I think when Havok came out originally, he didn't have those giant waves. I think they added those like a month or 2 later to make his special a bit easier to dodge. Because the timing on the dodges don't really match up with the audio. So they added that nice visual cue, and it's much easier now to evade. Alright, so we're going to bait out this heavy attack here, and then I think... Oh, he's got 1 more special. We can't punish the SP1, so we're just going to try and bait out another heavy attack. He pulls a full 5 combo into me, and but down he goes. So first Havok down, second one on the way. So this second Havok, this is in the middle of Boss Island. This is the Plagued Mind node and kinetic something. Transference, reactor, they're all the same. He hits in your block, he gets power. That's pretty much how it works. So we're going to heal up close to full. You know, again, I don't feel the need here to top off completely, partly because I've used so many potions this war already, and also because I'm pretty sure I can take this Havok down without getting hit, much less without dying. The Plagued Mind node makes this fight a little tricky because, you know, Warlock's primary source of damage is getting those nice armor breaks up from the SP2. And without the, you know, it's difficult to gain 2 bars of power in this fight because your power is draining every, 20 or 30 seconds or whatever it is. I think it's 30 seconds. I think I do get 1 SP2 off. Tried an intercept there, it didn't work, and then he parried me, so that was a mistake on my part for sure. The degen is putting in some decent work here. You can see it's ticking for about 200 damage plus, so it's 400 damage per second. You know, not a small amount, not a large amount either, but I'll take it. Infections don't really matter at this point in terms of, you know, stopping any sort of regen, which is not effective on this node. We're trying to play super aggressively. I noticed a couple times in this fight, and I think maybe in the last fight, I've tried to reparry, just because I'm aware of the time here, and I don't want to time out. But I need to be able to get to probably at least one special 2 here in order to get the damage I need to really close out the fight. So we've got less than half the fight remaining, but he's under 50% health, so as long as we kind of stay aggressive, nail that intercept, we might be able to get to 2 bars here. And I think we get it right before Plague Mine here triggers. There we go. So we get the nice armor break. So now we've gone from, you know, being kind of iffy on time to being really good on time. About a minute left, and he's pretty much on the ropes at this point. Do this intercept. He doesn't want to cooperate, so we'll just bait out that heavy attack. You do you, man. And bait out that heavy, pull off the intercept, and down he goes. So all in all, pretty good. It's tough to deal with that node. That's what makes Havok a good counter. Or I'm sorry, a good champ on that node. So, and yeah, we didn't win a war. So that's not a surprise. And yeah, so one more kill today than last time. Potion heavy, as you can see. 1L3, 7L4s, and no deaths, but no wins either. So. Alright, that's it for this one. So if you like this kind of stuff, again, please like and comment and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.